Phillips. Welcome to the Morning Dish. This is Rob Moyer filling in for Steven. But don't worry, I've got my good friend Patrick Malone here, and Packy just came sliding in sideways.
And you're kind of good friend, right?
My kind of good friend. I know what you were doing, Packy, and but Puddin's here pushing the buttons. Before we get into all the serious politics and everything, you were partying last night, weren't you, to celebrate?
What was I celebrating? What?
Snoop
So much.
Dogg.
Oh, yeah? Okay.
Snoop Dogg is carrying the Olympic torch into Paris. I don't even know what to say, Packy. What does this world come to that we let Snoop Dogg carry the Olympic torch?
Well, at least he'll have like a backup in case it goes out. He'll have.
He's got a torch.
He could light his blunt from the torch, and then he'll have just in case it goes out, he can relight it.
He must have left his lighter at home so he could need something to fire up his next joint.
Yeah. I don't even know what this says about the world that we let Snoop Dogg carry the Olympic torch. I guess it says a lot. Well, Mr. Malone, how are you today, sir?
I am pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
It's just an onslaught of news, political news, huh?
If you're a news junkie like me, it's like the Super Bowl every single day. I cannot turn the TV off. My wife's about to shoot me. I don't even know where to start. I guess Biden's going to address the country tonight from the Oval Office at 8:00.
And I have a question about that.
Okay.
Why?
Well, it's about time he explains to us officially why he's not running, because it is a pretty big question. If he is not able to fulfill his duties because of physical ailments, then he's not able to be president of the United States, and he should resign.
Here's the thing, Pat. You were talking about how it's the same thing with Truman and all this. It's not the same thing.
This is a little different.
It's completely different. A day and a half before, 24 hours before he stepped down, he wasn't saying, I'm never getting out of this race. I'm running. I'm going to be blah. And then as soon as the big money makes him quit, that's what happened. That's different. That's never happened.
But why did they make him quit? The reason that he's quitting is he can't get elected. That's the same reason that LBJ and Truman.
Okay, pause for a second.
Wait a minute. I'm going to take it one step further.
Who made him quit? And should a bunch of big money donors undo the will of all of his primary voters?
Well, and
why is nobody no Democrat even realizes that?
That is up to the principal. That's up to him. That's his decision.
But Patrick, I'm going to add to what you said. You said, and he quit because he cannot get elected. Why can't he get elected?
Right.
Because he's not physically able and mentally able to do the job anymore.
That's one of the reasons. The other is he's got really bad policies. He's caused all kind of inflation. He's got a bad track record in his 3.5 years as president. The list goes on of why he can't get elected.
I've got a great.
But the reason
Go ahead.
reason he's quitting is that he's not going to get elected.
Yeah, but if he didn't brain freeze on international television 3-4 weeks ago now at the debate, this would have never happened.
But he's been doing that for 3 years. I mean,
but they couldn't cover this one up.
I don't know. They didn't cover any of them up. It's like all of a sudden, it's like once the polls showed that he wasn't going to win and that he was tanking, then they showed it. It's like then the media, then the big money told the big media to show it, and everybody rallied behind him. And then he tried to cling on to the power as long as he could, and then he couldn't hang on to it anymore until the Chuck Schumers and the Nancy Pelosi's and all those said, "You're done, dude.
You got to go.
And if you don't go, we're 25th Amendmenting you." And then boom.
You think that's what they told him? Because I think they probably did too.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think they said that's what's next, Joe. If you
and
don't
I bet
quit.
there was a massive argument going on in the White House. Hunter sitting there, trying to get his pardon.
My coat, Dad?
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah. Hunter's the one that's really in jeopardy here.
Yeah.
Everybody else is going to be okay, but Hunter's losing his protector.
And do we think Biden will really hold to he's not going to pardon his son before he leaves office now?
I'll bet you that Jill Biden lost it, dude.
I bet she did, too.
I bet she lost her mind.
I think you're right. She was probably breaking China, White House China that we pay for, slinging plates around.
Who's the one that stole it?
That was Hillary.
Hillary.
Yeah, Hillary just
man.
stole it.
All right, I got a little more. I got a little more in common with Hillary than I thought I'd probably be. I don't know, man. If it was me and my dad up there, he'd be like, "Yeah, 10% for the big guy." It'd probably be the same thing. I can't say anything, man.
Well,
did you see what I sent you, Pat? That's a great meme. It's hard to describe a meme over the radio, but it's Kamala pushing Joe in a wheelchair and pushing him off the cliff, and it's like, what can be unburdened by what has been.
This one makes my case for there's nothing new, because this kind of picture was Republicans pushing the old people off the cliff when they were looking at Social Security.
yeah, Paul Ryan was pushing the wheelchair, if I remember right. Yeah. Well,
But it is a good one, Packy.
Well,
I
look where
agree.
we're at now, though. I mean, Social Security is going to fail.
if they don't do something, it is absolutely going to fail. So is Medicare. They're going to go bankrupt. So, but Packy, you kind of brought up my next question, but we didn't really talk about it. So, did Harris just steal the nomination? I mean, 14 million people voted for Joe Biden in a primary.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And, well, they don't need to steal votes in their own primary. So, they really don't. Yeah, that one was pretty safe. So 14 million Americans voted for Biden, and not one has voted for Kamala Harris. And now she's being anointed by the powers that be and the money people. And supposedly already she's got the 4,000 delegates have promised to vote for her when they do the roll call.
Same people that told you that there's no crisis at the southern border. Same people told you that masks work. Same people that told you that Joe Biden was mentally sound for 4 years.
The same people that said Trump is the one that's a threat to democracy.
Same people that
or
told
to
you
make you happy, Packy, our representative republic is what they should be saying.
No, they said a threat to
say
democracy. Yeah, same people who told you Hunter
yeah.
Biden's laptop was fake, and it's the same people who's telling you that Kamala Harris raised $100 million in 2 days. I don't believe any of it.
Yeah, well, I don't know. By the way, the fine folks at Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing are our sponsors this morning. Patrick, I think you have
After we've started this rant, I'm not sure that they want to be recognized as the sponsors, but they are fine people. And if you got a plumbing problem, you can reach them at 706-897-9110.
Why don't we slide into our first break? It's about that time, folks. And thanks to the great people at Grayland Leak Detection.
And now with more news for Western North Carolina and North Georgia, I'm Jeff Patton. A Blairsville woman has been released from the county jail on bail after being arrested for bilking her disabled aunt out of nearly $10,000 over a 2-year period. Rebecca Gooch, 54, was the power of attorney for her aunt, who resides at a local nursing home. Captain Darren Osborne with the Sheriff's Office says the Adult Protective Services Unit noticed a large number of checks that had been written from the aunt's account into her own account. And Osborne adds that the checks had been forged. Gooch was released on a $10,000 bond last Saturday after being charged with exploiting the disabled. Fresh off her promotion to Superior Court judge, Tessa Seller sentenced a Cherokee County man to 14 years in prison for intentional child abuse and inflicting serious bodily injury. The DA's office says Trenton Stainback, 22, said he, quote, snapped on March the 6th of last year when the 2-year-old child of his then-girlfriend kept trying to climb off a bed. He admitted to dropping the child and striking him on the head. The 2-year-old suffered a skull fracture. There were numerous bruises on his body and on his forehead. Stainback claimed he could not remember how the child suffered such severe injuries, citing his own fentanyl use. Please download the free WJRB app. I'm Jeff Patton. You hear it, and you can't find it. No, not your phone. We're talking about the leak near your spigot or somewhere else in the yard. Meanwhile, your $50 water bill is now $500. Grayland Leak Detection will find the leak. Grayland has the specialized equipment to find it and make the necessary repairs at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water system. Call Eric locally at Grayland, 706-897-9110, 706-897-9110, and find that leak once and for all.
July is all about freedom. And when it comes to your next vehicle, the place to celebrate that freedom is Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville.
Freedom to head to the beach in a Ford SUV.
Are we there yet?
Freedom to show the ladies my brand new Mustang.
Freedom to shop at Jackie Jones Ford, knowing I'll drive out with a great car and a great deal.
Family, freedom, and a new Ford at Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville.
You've got lots of land, lots of lawn, and not much leisure time to take care of it. So browse over to A1 Ag Consultants in Blairsville on Facebook. From the owners of 7M Farms comes a company that does fence work, bush hogging, tilling, or just basic lawn care. That's A1 Ag Consultants, offering monthly and weekly services. Go to A1 Ag Consultants on Facebook and PM the job that you need done. Free estimates at A1 Ag Consultants. They're anywhere you are in the tri-state area.
July is all about freedom. And when it comes to your next vehicle, the place to celebrate that freedom is Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville.
Freedom to head to the beach in a Ford SUV.
Are we there yet?
Freedom to show the ladies my brand new Mustang.
Freedom to shop at Jackie Jones Ford, knowing I'll drive out with a great car and a great deal.
Family, freedom, and a new Ford at Jackie Jones Ford in Hayesville.
So your vehicle is stuck in your garage because of a broken garage door or operator? Maybe you want to replace that ugly garage door. Or if you're building a new garage, then call Appalachian Garage Doors in Blairsville on the Murphy Highway. Owners, builders, and contractors. Go to agaragedoors.com to see what we're up to. Service after the sale, and the service is really fast. Find us on Facebook or the web, agaragedoors.com, or just search Appalachian Garage Doors and let's get started.
S&S Smoothies and Supplements is hard at work every day, offering over 30 smoothie flavors to choose from, thousands of supplements, healthy snacks, quality CBD products, and more. This month, save 25% or more when you experience natural relief with Terry Naturally Rose Hip Joint Comfort. Packed with antioxidants and clinically studied ingredients, it supports joint health and flexibility. Don't let discomfort slow you down. Discover the power of Rose Hip today. S&S Smoothies and Supplements in the Merchants Walk in Blairsville.
I just heard the screams down at your mailbox, and I know why. Your water bill is 8 times what it was last month. I bet it's a leak. Call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
And welcome back to the Morning Dish. This is Rob Moyer in for Stephen Phillips and the gangs here, Patrick, Packy, and Puddin'. We didn't talk about where Stephen might be. I got an anonymous source last night that called me and said that maybe Stephen Phillips failed the bus driving school last week, and now he's in remedial bus driving school for dummies. And that sounded like a reasonable thing, so my BS factor didn't go off, so it might be true. I don't know.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah, it really does. So, but Puddin's got a caller online for us who wants to talk about Vice President Harris, I think.
We do. We got Darren Wright this morning. Well, we had Darren.
Hey, Darren, how are you?
We had Darren Wright.
We had Darren.
Oh, geez.
Puddin', did you hit the wrong button again?
No, I think the break was longer than he anticipated, maybe.
Oh, he's calling back. So, I think Puddin' hit the wrong button, guys. Don't tell Stephen, though.
Yeah. Hey, we've talked about all these opinion polls.
Yeah.
Today is an interesting day. Today is the anniversary of the first political public opinion poll.
Wow.
In 1824.
1824. What did they poll?
They polled presidential, who do you like? And Andrew Jackson at that time had a clear lead. And, by the way, went off to be the president.
Wow, how about that? Well, guys, we got Darren back on the line. Darren, how you doing this morning?
Oh, I'm doing great. I appreciate you listening to my call this morning. I wanted to comment real quick. I mean, I love listening to y'all show. I mean, you give me a good laugh in the mornings. And I wanted to say we're missing the big picture. I know last week I called in and I told you who actually took the shot at President Trump and the patsy that was used. And, that's the MO. Look, I've trained and worked with these guys, I know exactly what's going to happen, and I know people want to blow me off, but the big picture here is your local government. Everybody wants to run to the mountains to hide from Big Brother. You're not going to hide from Big Brother. The problem is you don't have the leadership in place to protect the people here.
All right.
Clarify, expand on that a little bit, Darren. What do you mean we don't have the leadership?
If you're going to take on the government, which sheriffs can, under the Constitution, you're going to need some people with some integrity, some fortitude, and some character. And you don't have that in Towns County or Union County.
Well, that was a topic that was brought up often in the Union County Sheriff's race, and Sean Dyer committed that he would stand up for our constitutional rights, with the caveat that we all stood behind him, because he said him and his handful of deputies wouldn't be enough, so we'd all better be there with him. I think was almost a direct quote.
Well, he said it wrong. The thing is he's supposedly going to be the leader, so he needs to put together a posse. And yes, you can do that. They do it out west quite a bit, because he's correct that you don't have a big enough department. But he's the leader. Don't look for the people. You need to lead the people. Same thing over here with Ken Henderson. Look, these guys have no fortitude to take on the government.
Well, Darren,
I don't know.
Hope we don't
Ken
have to
Henderson's been pretty proactive in his jurisdiction, hasn't he?
Nah. No. I mean, you putting, crackheads and meth heads in the newspaper, that's not a big deal. You're not going after the head of the snake. It's just smoke and mirrors.
Okay, well, what would you have Henderson or Mac Mason or Sean Dyer do differently? What would that put some tangible thing in front of me? I need to touch and feel things.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate it, Pat. You're asking the right questions. And I think people are actually concerned. And as far as the incoming in Union and the current in Towns, they just don't have the fortitude or the character. I mean, the good old boy system and small town is not going to get you past the federal government. Now, the federal government's known for bullying and pushing people around. So your question, Pat, my answer is they need a working knowledge of the Constitution, exactly what their powers are under the Constitution. A sheriff is more powerful than the president and the governor of his state inside the county that he lives in. Inside
you're
this
right
county,
about that.
Yeah. So these guys got to get a working
agree
knowledge.
with you.
Hey, Darren, back up for a second. So I think what would answer what Pat's trying to get at is you said the head of the snake. What is the head of the snake? You said
there's a couple of people. I've been up in this area 24 years. People in this area know who the players are. And, I'm not going to go around naming names. They know who they are.
I didn't know if you meant like an ideology head of the snake or a person. I got you. You mean like player or like playa? Like which one? Is it like a playa?
Snoop's a playa.
Like Snoop Dogg playa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Don't hate the player, hate the game. But, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
you ask the right questions, what you are.
Darren, I got one more question before we move on. You said that the people know what's going on, that the people are aware. How does that jive with 70% of the people voting for the incoming sheriff in Union County?
Well, the people are the citizens. And, look, it worked with Chris. I mean, look how long Chris snowed this county. I mean, the thing is words, and small town is not going to get it done when you're dealing with these guys. I know these guys. These guys don't play around. So you better know what you're talking about.
All right. Well, Darren, you've given us a lot to think about this morning. Appreciate you calling in.
Thank you so much.
Have a great day.
Thank you.
So I don't know if I agree with Darren a whole lot.
I mean, you were part of the Sean Dyer campaign.
I was.
So
this came up a lot.
This
came up a lot, and
right.
Sean was, and all the candidates really had the same answer. That absolutely they would all stand up for our constitutional rights, but they all said that they would need the people's help. Now, Darren said there needs to be a posse, and Georgia law, I don't know about North Carolina, but Georgia law prevents the swearing in of a posse. So Sean Dyer or Mac Mason right now cannot just say, Packy, raise your right hand, repeat after me, and give you a badge.
You have to go to a school to be a deputy and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's
Trust
not
me, I've
possible.
tried, man. I've tried.
But well, yeah, I wanted a badge too, but I don't have one. So,
I think this is one of those questions that will never be asked because it's always speculative until the need arises for action, and then we'll see whether or not. Now, it might be too late at that point, but at this point, it's someone's speculation, just like it's my speculation that they would do the right thing.
Yeah, that's very true, Pat. And I hope we never have to find out. I mean, God forbid if we actually are at the point that we have to go nose to nose with the federal government with our rifles and whatnot. That's not going to be a good day.
Yeah, there's something else that happened there, and I'm not throwing Darren under the bus, but I want to use it as an example here. He went to the point of saying, I'm not going to name names. Well, I get calls all the time about XYZ is corrupt. And I talk to the caller and ask them to come on and talk about it. And the reaction I get is, no, I'm not going to do that. And I'm a little concerned about people who make accusations, but then aren't willing to stand up and say, it's me, Pat Malone, making that accusation.
Yeah. So I've had the same conversations, Patrick, and to the point where I've said, well, at least give me the evidence you claim you have that so-and-so is a crook or whatever. And if you have it and it's legit, I'll go on air and read it to the public. But nobody's ever handed me actual proof. So
that's the thing. Yeah, that's the thing that bothers me too. Nobody's willing to stand up and make their case and live with the consequences, because once you stand up, there are going to be a lot of people that agree with you. There are also going to be a lot of people who are shooting flaming arrows into your tent.
Yeah.
You got someone else, Puddin'?
Actually, we have Darren again.
Okay.
He's wanting to make a follow-up.
Hey, thanks again. At least we're being fair, right? Hey, Pat, if you're going to ask those questions, ask me why I'm on the air. So the reason why I'm not going to name names is these names have been around for way before I got up here. And the thing is these people are dangerous. And I don't want to put this county in any danger. I'm not worried about myself. I'm worried about the people in this county. And you can't go around naming these names.
Darren, if you're not willing to do that, how can we fix what you perceive as the problem?
Well,
how does
Pat,
anything get adjusted?
Well, the thing is answering that question will not change what's happening in this county. The front line stands with Ken Henderson and Sean Dyer. I've worked with both of those guys. I know these guys. I know their character. I know their integrity. And the thing is you don't have the people in place to protect these citizens against our government. This is not a conspiracy. This is serious business. And like Puddin said, hopefully it won't come to this. But if it does, running to the mountains and hiding is not going to keep you from Big Brother.
Okay, so this is kind of inevitable then.
It's inevitable. I mean, last week, y'all laughed at me because I said the Secret Service took the shot at Trump. Well, guess what? Now we know it's true. We know that Crook was a patsy. Look, people, wake up.
Darren, what happened in the last week to let us know that? I must have missed. This is Rob. I'm not Puddin'. I must have missed it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right.
Well, now the Secret Service is behind the shooting. They know exactly what happened. They had pictures of him before he even fired the shot. They put Trump on that stage intentionally. This was a full-blown hit. It's going to come out. And I'm not no stupid, crazy person.
Rob's looking at me like I'm crazy, but Darren, I mean, a lot of what you said, I'm kind of like, whoa, man, I'm not with you. But as far as them know, I mean, they knew there was an active threat and they still put him on the stage. There's no excuse for that, and there's no other way around that besides like what I think it was Josh Hawley was saying. It's like either you're just a total moron or you meant to get him killed. It's like, I mean, so pick one because you knew there was an active threat. Hey, we got to run, man. It's 8:31. We got to take our 8:30 break, but hey,
Thanks,
we
Darren.
do we do appreciate you calling in, man.
It was a hit.
Yeah, thanks for calling in, man. Hey, at least we let anybody on, man. I mean, as long as you're nice, as long as you don't cuss, as long as we can let you say what you want to say. We're not always going to agree with you.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Yeah,
no doubt about it.
Yeah.
So,
all right, Puddin', you going to take us to a break?
Hey, let's thank our sponsor. That's Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services. They have that specialized equipment like the leak detector. It's the LD 5000 is what they use to find those leaks.
The LD 5000.
Leak
wow,
detector
that's
LD.
Yeah.
LD X series. I think that's the official model.
Well, I know one thing. If you have a little leak, don't wait till it becomes a big leak to call them, because then you're going to have a much bigger problem on your hands. So go ahead and call them now.
Thanks, Rob. That's very good advice.
It really is.
Grayland Leak Detection, 706-897-9110.
You hear it, and you can't find it. No, not your phone. We're talking about the leak near your spigot or somewhere else in the yard. Meanwhile, your $50 water bill is now $500. Grayland Leak Detection will find the leak. Grayland has the specialized equipment to find it and make the necessary repairs at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water system. Call Eric locally at Grayland, 706-897-9110, 706-897-9110, and find that leak once and for all.
Is pain or limited mobility slowing you down? Try Erlanger Fit Plus, the region's favorite place to get fit. Plus, the leaders in physical therapy. Erlanger Fit Plus. Call 828-837-7777 to schedule an appointment. Warmer weather is here, so make sure your yard looks the part. Come to Hiawassee Hardware and save on gardening tools, power equipment, and more to dig in. Save on garden gloves, kneeling pads, Landscapers Select rakes, and Vulcan wheelbarrows. Save $30 on the 6 cubic foot model right now at Hiawassee Hardware on Main Street. And for power equipment, Hiawassee Hardware is still the best. In fact, we are your store for warmer weather and a whole lot more.
West Tubing Company is back and ready to kick off the season. Come to Brasstown Creek. Enjoy locally sourced food, our full bar, and shopping at the Outpost. We also offer camping and glamping, venue rentals for your special occasions, and live music from 6 to 9 on Saturdays. West Tubing Company, now ready for another great season. Come join us on Old Highway 64 in Warren, North Carolina, a short trip from anywhere in the mountains. As our slogan states, we are not your ordinary tubing company.
They're coming back. The Georgia Mountain Moonshine Cruise In with hot rods, classics, street rods, muscle cars, trucks, Jeeps, 4x4s, and get this, Friday night concert with the Kentucky Headhunters. Hundreds of hot rods and classics. July 26th and 27th. Meet the First Lady of Motorsports and Miss Hurst, Dalton's Linda Vaughn. Get your tickets now at gmmci.com for the Georgia Mountain Moonshine Cruise In and the Kentucky Headhunters Friday night concert at the Dalton County Convention Center. It's hot rods and Kentucky Headhunters.
Rolling down the road with Jackie Jones Auto.
Goodbye, forklifts. Hello, Jeep Compass. The road reopening sale at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hayesville means big savings for you. All new cars are marked at invoice or below. Come with good credit, bad credit, or you're just upside down in your car loan? Just give us a chance at Jackie Jones Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram in Hayesville and make this the summer. And now with brand new roads leading to us on Highway 69 across from the McDonald's.
Suffering from pain or limited mobility? Trust the experts at Erlanger Fit Plus, the region's favorite place to get fit. Plus, the leaders in physical therapy. Erlanger Fit Plus. Call 828-837-7777 to schedule an appointment.
Wednesday morning is a good time to get to the bottom of why your water bill is so high. If it is, call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
And welcome back to the Morning Dish. This is Rob in for Stephen Phillips, who's in remedial bus driver school, we think. I've got Patrick, Packy, and Puddin' here with me today. Guys, let's go back to Kamala Harris.
All right.
We have a foreign leader in town, Benjamin Netanyahu, and he is going to do a speech to a joint session of Congress I think, is that tonight or tomorrow night? Tomorrow night, I think.
That is tonight.
Tonight, okay.
Yeah,
And-
because he's meeting with President Biden and Kamala Harris tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay. And he's meeting with Donald Trump on Friday, I heard this morning.
Friday, yeah.
But Vice President Harris, who is president of the Senate, she is supposed to reside over the Senate in these kind of events, has decided not to attend. And so she is making a statement that she stands with the Free Palestine protesters that have been shutting down college campuses and do not support Israel's right to defend itself from terrorists that rape and behead babies, for God's sakes, in front of their parents. And what do you guys think of that?
I think she's playing a game that she thinks the voters in Dearborn, Michigan, and St. Paul, Minnesota, are going to overwhelm the will of most of the intelligent voters in Pennsylvania and Pennsylvania and Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Yeah, and I to add to that, I think she's also trying to invigorate the college voters around the country to get active and vote for her. But she is putting a huge black eye on the United States to do it, in my opinion.
My thing, I am America first. I don't think we should be giving money to anybody under any circumstances.
You're just weird, Packy.
Until our border is secure. Under any circumstances.
Yeah.
I'm all for, I'm for Israel, but figure out our own problems first. But what she's saying and what these, this Palestine, you see, they're taking over the house. Did you see that? The insurrection that's happening.
Yeah.
With what I mean? That's going to become more and more and more, and it is becoming more and more and more a platform of the Democrat Party. That's not the fringe group anymore that we are anti-Israel. That is becoming the platform. You have the president.
The fringe group is actually in charge.
That's what I'm saying.
It
will become.
They are
the platform.
establishment in the Democratic Party now.
And I think it goes back to, and I tried to explain this yesterday. It's a little convoluted, but Joe Biden didn't die. So what happens when the president dies? Apparently he's not dead. But anyway, the
somebody
the
walked off
vice
the airplane
president.
yesterday.
Yeah, the vice president takes over, right?
Yes.
Is that the case in a primary? He's not dead. It's not.
No, it's not.
It's not. So why does she just walk into? I get it. The delegates just say they pledge their support for that.
Well,
but
now,
that doesn't.
Jackie, two differences there. The succession plan for the presidency is dictated by the Constitution.
Right. I get that, Pat.
Primary rules are governed by the individual party. They can be whatever the individual party wants.
Or the money behind the individual party, apparently.
Well, that's what usually controls the
Well,
party.
yeah, that is the party, is the money. Without the money, the party's toothless because they have no constitutional authority.
Right.
Yeah, so but the question here is the Democrats had a choice, right? They could claim we're a representative republic and you guys voted for delegates to go to our convention and vote on your behalf, and now those delegates are doing just that and they've decided to vote for Kamala Harris. Or they could have gone down the road that I think Obama actually had brought up and mentioned that maybe they do a series of some town halls and have kind of a very shortened, quick, open primary to allow people to actually vote one way or another and have a choice. And they've taken the party that's trying to save democracy
has taken the non-democratic route. That's the point I'm trying to make. And I'll take whatever candidate is the worst candidate that they have that Trump can run against. And I don't know if you can get any worse than Kamala Harris. It's pretty rough, dude. She's horrible.
I'm amazed they picked her.
And I mean,
honestly.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
They had to. But
why
I'm
did they
amazed.
pick her? She's the worst choice you could have. And it seems like if they went back to the people, like they should have done, and said, "Hey, let's figure out who my constituents within my delegation wants me, that I am the delegate for. Let's figure out who they actually." I guarantee it wouldn't have been Kamala Harris.
Well, they had a problem that they put themselves in their own box, and I love when they do this to themselves because they are so focused on racial and gender identities as a party that there's no way they could let a black female be stepped over for a white middle-aged rich guy like Gavin Newsom.
They care about that.
Oh, they do.
don't think. I think it's about the money. I think that the money.
No, because the money, all the black support and the minority support.
If Kamala Harris stepped down, they would have to
away.
give the money back to the people. Now they could have redonated it back to
that
whoever
money
the
was
new.
never going back to anybody else. Trust me.
Well, they would have had if Kamala. I mean, well, you're right about that. They would have kept it. I know you're right. Right, but technically, they would have had to give it back to the people, or the donators.
And
no, they don't.
That is the problem with our party system. When you donate to the party, you're not donating to an individual. You look at all these solicitations you get, and they want you to send the money to Win Red or Win Blue. I don't know what it's called.
Those are PACs, though.
On the Democrat side. No, they're not PACs.
I thought those
were
PACs. I was at the party. Okay.
That is the party, and that means those funds are governed by the party.
Well, I thought you were talking about Biden's war
chest,
chest, though. Like, I mean, I thought we were talking about, like, how much money did the Biden campaign have? Not the Democrat Party, but, like, the campaign. How much money did they have?
$215 million or so.
That money would have had to go back to the people.
That was the total.
Where does it go,
That wasn't Biden specific.
Where does it go,
money.
Rob?
That was
Biden
the total.
can control where it goes. He could have donated out to candidates all around the country, but it eventually would have ended up in the Kamala Harris campaign. They just couldn't do it quickly. They have to jump through all these legal hoops, which they didn't want to do, or if it would have been somebody besides Harris, because her name's on the account already, like they're married, right? Like a couple.
But I guess either way, that's still proving that's proving my point. They couldn't have done it quickly. Like, it is about the money. Like, that's
Partially.
a huge part of.
But they raised a new $120 million since Sunday, so money's not.
I have a hard time believing that. But
I don't at all. Are you kidding? On the Hollywood elite wrote her a check. Gladly, they're probably standing in line to write her checks. So,
but anyway, going back to that. I don't think this is like the fringe, and it's going to become more and more and more and more like we hate Israel, and we are going to, like it's going to become a pro-Palestine party, and it's going to happen, and it is happening. You can see it's happening.
If that's the case, then the American voter needs to make a decision there.
The American voter is going to go along with it because they do. Just let me think because of exactly what I'm saying. She didn't even get 2% of the primary vote when she ran against Biden. Nobody likes her.
Nobody likes her at
horrible.
all. Yeah.
And so now, but look at all the people now. Even Harry this morning saying she's the brat.
But if
it's like now, but these people are going to rally behind her just because it's the lesser of two evils.
But it's the party people who are going to rally behind her. It's the people who say, I'm a Democrat. I've been a Democrat all my life. I'm going to vote Democrat. Okay, that doesn't win elections. The independent voter are the ones who decide elections. And if this is the platform that they're putting forth, this is driving away the independent voter from the Democrats.
And the Jewish voter, because the Jewish population has historically voted mainly Democrat.
Yeah.
And so now if and I'm not Jewish, but if I were, I'd have to be looking at this saying, do I really want to elect a president that's going to stand with Palestinian terrorists over the free state of Israel? No, I do not. And by the way, Trump's the one that did more for Israel than any president I can remember.
But that's the point, though. So, since then, they still were voting Democrat.
Yeah, they did. This might be
Trump moved the capital. He did more for Israel than any president ever. But they still went. The Jews went against him.
But I'm submitting this might be a step too far.
Those are the lifetime Democrats.
They are lifetime.
Those are come hell or high water. I'm voting for the Democrat candidate.
More and more independents from what I've seen on X and different, just what you read. I mean, Elon Musk is a great example. He's a lot of my friends who are longtime Democrats, who are very smart people, very rich people. I mean, they're all excited for Trump and Vance.
Right. I think so.
And Elon Musk is about as independent, as you can get. Joe Rogan is about as independent as you can get.
True.
I mean, as far as like celebrity people who
right.
Elon Musk has been very critical of Trump.
Yeah, he has
for a long time. But I mean,
and so is Joe Rogan, I believe.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I don't know. Do we have to do one more break before we call?
Yeah,
it
we got
quits,
one more.
guys?
Let's do one more. Let's thank Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services. They have that fancy leak detector to find the leaks in your home. The LD 5000. Ask them about it. Tell them we sent you. That's Grayland Leak Detection. 706-897-9110.
What do we go before we go to break, Puddin'? What are we giving away today?
What day is today? S&S Smoothies is bringing you the community calendar when we get back. So we're going to give away a $15 gift certificate to your choice, S&S Smoothies or the Tin Roof. Stay tuned. Pat Malone's going to have a question for you, right, Pat?
I got a question.
Boom, hit the button, Puddin'.
You hear it, and you can't find it. No, not your phone. We're talking about the leak near your spigot or somewhere else in the yard. Meanwhile, your $50 water bill is now $500. Grayland Leak Detection will find the leak. Grayland has the specialized equipment to find it and make the necessary repairs at a fraction of the cost of replacing your whole water system. Call Eric locally at Grayland, 706-897-9110, 706-897-9110, and find that leak once and for all.
Did you know the warranties on a Green Tree metal roof are at least double the lifespan of most shingles? Install a Green Tree metal roof in one of nearly 20 vibrant colors and you'll get a 30-year chalk and fade warranty and a lifetime film integrity warranty against cracking and peeling. Green Tree's Energy Star certification means you'll also get lower power bills. Learn more about the benefits of a Green Tree metal roof at greentreemetals.com.
Green Tree Metal, coolest roof around.
It's been called the finest gun range for miles around. So if you haven't been to the new Union County Gun Range, then you need to see for yourself. The state-of-the-art facility on Highway 180 in Blairsville is a shooter's paradise. Buy an annual pass or come just for the day. Open at 10 a.m. Tuesday through Saturday and 1 p.m. Sunday. Bring your family. Kids under 18 need to bring an adult. The Union County Gun Range, another great attraction provided by your Union County government.
This is Tamala Cooper with Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, and I left my husband and staff unattended for a few hours, only to find out I have been given a nickname, which happens to be a rodent. In our line of work, you have to maintain a sense of humor, but I think these guys took it a little far this time. Come by and give them a hard time with me, and while you're there, let's go ahead and get your wishes in writing. Pre-planning your wishes doesn't have to be somber. We are Bannister Cooper Funeral Home, Towns County's local funeral home.
It's time now to honor the Prep Athlete of the Week. Brought to you by Ware Chevrolet in Blairsville, supporting the champions of tomorrow from the 5-county area.
We continue to feature high school players moving on to play college sports. Over at Fannin County, tennis star Anna Beth Menier was a 4-year letterman for the Lady Rebels, 4-year team captain, and 4-year #1 singles. And she's heading on to UGA. Congratulations to Anna Beth Menier of Fannin County, the Ware Chevrolet Athlete of the Week.
At Sentinel Plastic Surgery Blairsville, we have 3 new aesthetic treatments for you. 3 comfortable, affordable solutions. Small vein removal, age spot removal, or permanent hair removal. Maybe you don't show your legs because of unsightly veins. How about those brown spots that age your face or your bald head? No more waxing or shaving after your permanent hair removal. Contact Sentinel Plastic Surgery at 706-439-6486. That's 706-439-6486.
I just heard the screams down at your mailbox, and I know why. Your water bill is 8 times what it was last month. I bet it's a leak. Call Grayland Leak Detection at 706-897-9110. Get the water bill under control when you call Grayland Leak Detection and Plumbing Services.
And welcome back to the Morning Dish. Got Rob Moyer in for Stephen Phillips. I'm here with my good friends, Patrick Malone, Packy Smith, and the ever-faithful Puddin'. So, Patrick, there was a moment of true bipartisanship on the Hill this week. So we did see that, in fact, yes, dogs and cats, Republicans and Democrats can work together to do something. They convinced the director of the Secret Service to resign.
That's true.
That was
that's true.
Pretty
amazing. She has the courage of her convictions, doesn't she?
She really does.
Because she sat there in front of those people investigating her, calling for her resignation, and said, "I will not resign." And as soon as she got out of the seat, she sent her letter of resignation.
Well, it's when both parties, when you have AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene screaming for your head, it's kind of hard to survive that. But
that's true.
You're a leadership expert, Patrick. I mean, forget how bad the Secret Service messed up on last Saturday. Just looking at her as a leader in that position at a congressional hearing, to me, it seemed like she was not prepared for that testimony at all. She didn't have a basic timeline of what happened when. She had no basic facts to share. Forget that. Think about her body language. It didn't project confidence. It didn't project leadership. She's lost. And that's what happens when you put political appointees in leadership positions in strategic divisions, in operational committees, or whatever the Secret Service is called. I mean, that should not be a political appointment. Correct. I agree with that. That should be, the best and the brightest. And, I was thinking, if this turns out to be a massive mistake by someone way down the org chart from her, that, maybe she didn't need to quit or be fired because this happened, but her response to it now, regardless of whose fault it was, mandates that she be gone. I mean, think of a corporate America. I know I worked for Xerox when an employee went postal in Hawaii, came back to work with a gun and shot some fellow employees. The CEO of Xerox was on a plane that day, rented a private jet, didn't wait for the next commercial flight, and flew out there. It was on site. Now, it wasn't the CEO's fault that an employee went nuts and 2 or 3 fellow employees died, so the CEO didn't have to quit and he didn't get fired. But he was on the spot. He was taking care of the injured employees and the families of the dead and doing all the right things to make sure it never happened again. I agree with you. It's more how a leader reacts to problems. You can't prevent every problem from occurring in a multi-personal organization, but it's how you react when you have a problem. That's the mark of leadership.
If there was a man who was wandering around the Trump rally suspiciously with a rangefinder, she admitted that she knew there was an active threat, right? They knew. She kept saying suspicion, and they let the rally continue. Yeah, that's a mistake, but that's not a mistake. Like that's either that's intentional. Or how is, I don't know, that to me, you can't be that stupid. It's pretty stupid. You can't be, I mean, if you're that stupid, you should be, I mean, you should either be in prison, I don't know, she should be in prison. I mean, if she, that either way, it's negligence or she did it on purpose. Well, the head of the Pennsylvania State Police said yesterday in his testimony before a different congressional committee that a local team spotted this suspicious guy and did call it in to the command center because the local deputies could not speak directly on the radio to the Secret Service guys. And so it got communicated to the command tent. And then what was supposed to happen inside the command tent was that the local guys monitoring the radios should turn around and tap the Secret Service guy on the shoulder and say, hey, we got this weird dude over here with a rangefinder. We don't know if that happened. And if that did happen, did that Secret Service guy in the command tent relay that information to the team protecting Donald Trump, his body team, right? That would prevent him from going on stage. So we don't know if that guy got busy and forgot, if he didn't take it that seriously. That stuff we still have to wait to learn in these investigations. Either way, whatever, I think it all boils down to, some things are top down, and I think when you have, Biden who appointed this woman to do this. Yeah. That, I mean, he has eroded and he has just infected and eroded every facet of our government at this point. There's no doubt. And the point that I think Patrick and I were trying to make is that this woman was not a qualified enough leader to lead an organization as big and as important as the Secret Service. But she was friends with Joe Biden, though.
She was friends with Dr. Joe.
And she's a woman.
She was a political appointee. Hey, before we run out of time, we need to do the trivia.
What's the question,
The call-in number is 706-379-9770. And the question is, since we're talking politics and presidents and vice presidents, the trivia question is, who did President Gerald Ford appoint to be his vice president?
Who did Gerald Ford appoint to be his vice president? That's a good one.
Yep. So give us a call, 706-379-9770. The phone lines are fixed and open.
Now, it's not fixed. We don't have the competition rigged.
I
This is
didn't
not a
mean fixed.
Democratic election, Patrick. This is not a presidential
They're now
election.
in working order.
It's now in
How's that?
working order. All right.
Yeah.
But you've still got Puddin at the console. So how much working
now-
order can it be in?
Well, this is a test to see if he has any leadership ability here.
All right, Puddin, you're on the spot once again. So
Yeah. You're on the clock, as they say in the NFL draft.
you're on the clock. Well,
Yeah.
I am glad. Oh, we got a caller, but I am glad the lady is gone. She obviously did not need that job, so I can't wait to see who Biden puts in her place.
I'll bet there are lots of Secret Service agents who are glad also.
I have heard there are. So, all right, Puddin, who you got?
We got Joe Tiger this morning.
All right, Joe.
Hey, Joe, how you doing?
Fine. How you doing, Pat?
I'm
Man, they
I'm
give you a
good,
hard
and
time
I'm
on
looking-
there, Pat.
What's
I'll
that?
tell you what, though, when I found out that Pat was he's a Jameson man, though, I give him points on that for sure.
That's an
Jameson
excuse
brothers.
for some of my erratic behavior.
It will happen. I think
Joe,
it was
you got
Bob
an
Dole.
answer? You got an answer
Bob-
to our
Was
questions,
it Bob
Joe?
Dole? Was it Bob Dole?
No, it's not Bob Dole.
Oh, nice guess,
Oh,
though.
okay,
Someone,
all right.
someone richer than Bob Dole.
Oh, my memory fails me on that one then.
Somebody
All right,
richer
well,
than
thanks,
Bob
Y'all
thanks
have a
for
Dole.
good
calling.
one. See ya.
Okay, the lines are open again, folks. Give
I
us
think
a
we
call.
got another
Who
caller
was
here.
President Gerald Ford's vice president?
You got another one, Puddin? No, we don't. Well,
Okay.
all right, we're going to run out of time here shortly. You want to give a clue to make it a little easier, Patrick?
A very rich individual.
Oh, we got a call coming in.
Okay,
Very
let's
rich
see.
individual. Maybe it was Donald
Very
Trump.
rich.
Could it have been Donald? No, couldn't have been Donald Trump.
No.
We got Lee Wallace this morning.
Hey, Lee.
How y'all doing today, man?
We're good. What's the answer to our question, Lee?
He left it vacant.
No. He had a
No?
vice president. He had a vice president.
Google says he left it vacant.
No.
Well, Google must be
wrong.
right.
Yeah.
All right, it was worth a shot.
All right. Well,
Okay.
guys, we are running out
Thank
of
you.
time, so we're going to have to answer this one tomorrow.
Well, I could give you the answer.
Who was it, Patrick?
It was Nelson Rockefeller.
Well, he was definitely rich. So,
Yeah,
guys,
I tried to give you a hint.
we'll all be back tomorrow as Stephen continues to learn how to drive that bus again in summer school for dummies. And we'll look forward to it. Have a good day.